What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be continuing my Harry Potter series leading up to Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, and today we're going to be talking about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So Harry, Ron, and Hermione return to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry for their third year of study, where they dive into the mystery surrounding an escaped prisoner who poses a dangerous threat to the young wizard. Now, I used to have fond memories of this film. I remember watching Scooby-Doo 2 on DVD and watching this trailer multiple times, and I used to consider this one of the best Harry Potter films, but I didn't remember much of this film, and it had been a long while since I had rewatched this film. I didn't rewatch this film until 2 years ago when theaters started to reopen. This was actually the first film that I saw back in theaters, and what a welcome way to welcome me back into the theaters, because I thought I had remembered a lot of it, but I only remembered the parts that were in the trailers that I watched multiple times growing up, and so I didn't remember much of this film. So I went into this film moderately clean. I didn't remember much of this film, and so going into this film, I didn't know what to expect to a certain degree, and I came out loving this film. I'm not sure if it was because it was the first film that I saw back in theaters after a long hiatus, or if it was because I didn't remember much of this film and I forgot how great this film was. This film is the introduction of the Dementors, I believe that's what they're called, and this is the first time that we get the recast of Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, who took it over from Richard Harris, who unfortunately passed away before this film was able to get into production. And the way that both of these two actors played Dumbledore, they're very different, and that's something that I really liked about this film. That's one of the things that I liked about this film, and this film is directed by Alfonso Cuarón, which was a big surprise because I honestly thought that Gravity was his first film. And so this film is the progression of the characters growing up. This film starts to get into more darker fare, and that is something that I really liked about the transition. It felt very natural. It felt like you're growing with the characters because you eventually do, and that is something that I really liked about this film. We get our introduction of Gary Oldman as Sirius Black, and we also get the introduction of Professor Lupin, played by the great David Thewlis. Do apologize if I mispronounced his last name, but I thought they were both great. And little twist that they put with Dr. Lupus at the end of the film, it was really nice seeing those two characters. I think for the most part, those are my two favorite characters up to this point, and I really enjoyed their addition to this film, and that is something that I wish could have carried on until later films behind the scenes, because I think the way that they introduced Alfonso Cuarón into this world really did bring a new fresh blood into this world, because it really did feel new. It felt natural, and it was something different, and it was a progression of what the film was. I know this film is a lot of people's favorite Harry Potter film. I might put it in my third favorite Harry Potter film. I'm not too sure just yet, but I really enjoyed this film for what it was, from its natural transition of these characters growing up and being able to experience new things, to exploring the whole world of Harry Potter. That is something that I've appreciated about the first two films, and that is something that carries on into this film. Everybody gets their moment to shine, and I like that the fact that we get to hang out with Ron, Harry, and Hermione throughout the whole film. I even like that little time travel thing that they used at the end of the film that actually made me appreciate the film a lot more. And it just, even watching it now, almost 2 years after I had rewatched it for the first time in forever, I still get goosebumps at the end when you see Harry Potter save himself by using the spell that he's been trying to perfect, and that is something that I love about time travel movies. Yeah, it's a cheap cop-out about what you can do, and there's really not enough stakes if you go back in time. Even Harry's first flight, forgot the bird's name, I do apologize, but even when he rides Hagrid's bird, I thought that was great, even though it has a lot more exploring. You do get to feel that magical stakes in this film, and that's something that I've appreciated about this film from the last time that I've seen it till now. I think it's really fun. It's great. It's a really natural transition into how these characters are growing up and evolving, and just like a lot of people their age, they grew up watching these characters grow up, and that is something that's always going to be wholesome. I do appreciate this film for the tone transition, the way that the characters are progressing, and just a different tone in this film. It's something that I really have loved and appreciated even till now. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban a 9 out of 10. I think this is one of the best Harry Potter films that I really have appreciated, and I actually enjoy a lot more than most. I think this is a natural transition into growing into a new phase into these characters and seeing what their characters are going to be involved into next. But overall, what are your thoughts on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? Did you love it? Did you not like it? What are your thoughts on this film? Has they changed at all? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you think. And if you haven't checked out my thoughts on the Harry Potter reunion special that came back at the beginning of the year, go ahead and check that video out. And until next time, this is Josie Reviews.